It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
We're well loved in Orlais. Say the words and Empress Celine will send her support.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus' followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn Magister from the dawn of time. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
They've terrorized Thedas long enough. We end them now. If Corypheus is hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we'll go.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you. This is an eluvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
You can restore an artifact like this.
There was a price, but one I gladly paid. I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The eluvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all eluvians join, wherever they might be.
Is this place dangerous? It feels...
Unnatural, yes. We are, however, in no immediate peril. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I was safe from those who hunted me, but only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
What do you mean, a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the eluvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key.
The key can be many things. Each eluvian is different. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
Corypheus wants to come here.
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh. Like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the eluvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
So there's the mirror. It's just sort of around. Was I always able to access this room, and was there always a mirror in it? Because actually, I feel like I might even remember seeing this before, but I'm not. I could be imagining things. So, Corypheus wanted to enter the Fade in the flesh so that he could conquer the kingdom or the castle or whatever of the old gods, just like he tried when he originally became what he is today. Created the Anchor to do so. Accidentally got it implanted on me, which is kind of funny in its own way. Kind of like the beacon in Mass Effect in some sort of way like that, where it's just this artifact that accidentally influences the wrong person. Whoops! And I've already used it to enter the Fade. Thankfully, I'm not evil and trying to manipulate things in that way. Although, in some games with moral decisions, you could actually be expected to be allowed to go in there. And where am I? Oh, I'm in the garden. Okay, interesting. In some games with moral decisions, you could actually be expected to be able to choose, like, do I want to conquer do I want to do what Corypheus did and try to gain his power? That's a bit outside the scope of this game, apparently. Granted, the amount of assets need to be generated for a different path like that are, of course, kind of nuts. So you can only let people make so many decisions. But that failed. So now his plan B, of course, is that he wants to. What's this? Mark? Oh, that's just the war room. So he failed. So now he wants to take an alternate route. He wants to go through that mirror and break down the barriers that separate it from the Fade. It's crazy that the elves had like something that was like similar to a mirror. The elves had something that was similar to the Fade, but not just for the sake of travel. It's almost like traveling at light speed, or having. Actually, it's almost like a Harry Potter type thing with those items they could use to just teleport around. Interesting. So you can make note that when I went to the war room with my 3 supporters, now Morrigan's here too as the group. So we have now 5 people standing around instead of 4. So hello, good old.
With the Civil War over, Orlais is focusing on rebuilding.
There is still trouble in the Dales. We've had no news from the Exalted Plains for weeks.
It's good to be back to the war table. I haven't seen hide nor hair of this spot since I was sort of almost imprisoned by Orlais for so long by that main story quest that was not my favorite part of the game so far. So, we sent people to get an amulet for Cole so that we could help him not get controlled, an important aspect of his character progression. So, Ambassador Montlier, it is rare to hear of those in Orlais treating spirits as anything other than beasts to kill, and rare still for anyone to care enough for one to help them. I have given the amulet to your people freely in hopes that the Inquisition will continue to be this open-minded approach. We wish you luck in healing the sky. Those rifts have damaged the Fade here, even in Ravane. Yours in peace, Lady Anna Maria of Dersmund. That's good. So simple diplomacy won the day very clearly, and they were willing to cooperate without any real pressure, which is always good to know. And I believe we sent someone to help with Oh yeah, right. We had Marquis Buffon was always being a problem with our ongoing war efforts, and it looks like we finally got a chance to wipe her out. So let's see what happened here. Inquisitor. Marquis Buffon was killed along with Lady Lagaspe and her Venatori allies. Thanks to Sister Liliana's scouts, we were able to gain covert entry into the fortress, although the Venatori still managed to use their magic against the Grey Wardens to significant effect. I regret to inform you that after recent actions, the Grey Wardens have suffered too many losses to be of any further assistance. The last warriors died fighting for the Inquisition in good faith. I have sent their personal effects to Weishaupt. Lieutenant Suzanne Kloksek. That's unfortunate. So, we did what we could to minimize Grey Warden casualties in the war effort, but it looks like they still didn't do so great. Although I do suspect that no matter what you did, by the time you finish the little war table Grey Warden quest, you might have got them killed regardless, or in other ways have them no longer available for support. But hey, Song of the Marshes, we got a weapon out of it. More importantly, though, we progress the story. So find a sponsor for the Deux Paraquets. If I remember correctly, the Deux Paraquets. If I remember correctly, I think this is the mission right. This is was it? We had someone who was ready to try to kill Josephine. So and she recommended that we simply find someone to sponsor the Deux Paraquets, and that would help the entire situation. Hopefully that has worked. So, letter to Countess Dion. My dearest Lynette, I was injured on the way back from the Conclave when this insane war erupted between the Apostates and the Templars. I made it to a decrepit inn just before the gash in my leg turned into a fever. Fortunately, when the Inquisition people found me, they sent a proper healer. I owe them my life, I'm certain. I'm told the Inquisition will deliver this letter to you, which is the first peace of mind I've had since the Conclave. Stay in the capital, my love, until I can come for you. Yours always, Ellery. Interesting. I believe that was the Josephine mission, because she was under attack. Aid those impacted by the Civil War. That'll be good to look into, because obviously we just finished the Civil War element of the story. Before I proceed with the war table, though, I think I'm going to go find and talk to Cole and Josephine to see if our recent missions have an impact on their story. Alright, here's Josephine.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
Why did the Deux Paraquets hate the Montiliers so much they set up a permanent assassination watch?
A Montilier and a Deux Paraquet fell in love. A young couple, pledged elsewhere, attempted to elope. The whole thing ended so violently, it's a wonder any survived. It's fortunate the Deux Paraquets' descendants hold no grudges.
What if the Deux Paraquets refuse to aid you?
I've already contacted the Deux Paraquets, Inquisitor. They're ready to help us. It will be a long road, but a lordship is a chance to restore a proud lineage to their heirs. Besides, I've promised them a heavy bag of coin once this is over.
What's the next favor we need to get these Deux Paraquets a lordship?
We need a judge of the royal court to procure documents acknowledging them as nobility again.
A somewhat fallen fortune. Arrange a favor for Judge Alt at the war table. Okay, so we have another war table thing to send out. I might as well get started on that immediately. Here it is, getting a judge's favor. Inquisitor, we must have an Orlesian judge sign papers formally requesting we elevate the Deux Paraquets into nobility. I have approached Judge Auld, who has requested a party of Inquisition soldiers meet him in the Frostbacks for a hunting expedition. Some sort of rare spider, as big as a horse. The judge was telling me, lives inside the caves a few days west of Skyhold. He would like an honor guard who knows the mountains to show him the way. Send some scouts and officers to accompany him, and Judge Auld will happily sign the paperwork we require. Josephine. This is silly and pointless, but okay, let's go for it. The commander has kindly found some soldiers we can spare to accompany Judge Ald's hunting party. It makes sense Josephine's the one person we can send here, because she's the one facilitating all of this, so it's kind of her little thing.
Inquisitor?
I was going to call it her pet project, but that's... calling it her pet project's almost a little condescending for something that's, you know, about life and death for her personally.
We don't need those charges. We've soldiers enough without stuff.
But she was so fast and quick with her own. No one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful. But she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. A rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a town.
Such a nice little song about Sarah there. She's a really well realized character. She has friction with a lot of people who play this game, of course, because she's often, you know, she rubs people the wrong way, but that's often true of any well realized character. I hated Walter White on Breaking Bad, but because he's a terrible person, but he's also really well realized. So is Cole, and so is Morgan, which is someone who I always talk shit about Morgan because she's so unlikable in many cases and so difficult to deal with, but she's a very well realized character, well written and everything. And what the people's dislike of Sarah is often a mark of just how well the character's done. But anyway, Cole, I got you your amulet.
She's still behind the curtains in the reading room, watching the blood pool on the floor.
I found the amulet that Solus told us about. Would you like to try it on?
Yes, but not here. I like it here. We need someplace that can go away if it becomes sharp. What do I do with it?
You found one of the amulets. Excellent. May I? It is simple enough. You put it on, I charge it with magic, and you should be protected.
Are you ready, Cole?
They can't make me a monster.
What was that? Oh, what are you doing to the kid?
Stopping blood mages from binding me like the demons at Adamant. But it didn't work.
Something is interfering with the enchantment.
Something like Cole not being a demon?
Solus, is it possible that the amulet doesn't work on Cole because he's too human?
Regardless of Cole's special circumstances, he remains a spirit.
Yes, a spirit who is strangely like a person.
I don't matter. Just lock away the parts of me that someone else could knot together to make me follow.
Focus on the amulet. Tell me what you feel.
Warm, soft blanket covering, but it catches tears. I'm the wrong shape. There's something. There. That way.
It appears we have something to find. Again?
All right, kid. Get Cullen and work with him on the map to figure out where you're sensing something wrong.
Will you come with me? All of you?
Sure. All right, I get it. You like spirits. But he came into this world to be a person. Let him be one.
If I see a way to protect Cole without taking away whatever he is, I'll use it. But Cole clearly needs our help.
I'm not saying we do nothing. But that ritual of theirs only works on demons, right?
This is not some fanciful story, child of the stone. We cannot change our nature by wishing.
You don't think?
However we deal with the problem, our next step is to track down whatever is interfering with the enchantment.
I gotta say, I think my favorite part of all of Dragon Age Inquisition is the many, many scenes you get with multiple companions in the same scene together. I think that's when BioWare's stuff really comes together. One of the bummers of early BioWare games is how often they seem like isolated characters that don't interact. Like in the first Mass Effect, for example, where eventually you're like, what do you mean? Ashley and Liara, you hit on both of them and now they're mad at each other. You mean they exist at the same place? I have to think about this completely differently. Like that was like the only time practically, but now there's way more opportunity for that, and I get it. They're worried about the fact that multiple characters are only sometimes in the game, and could easily not be there. So it's a lot of effort for stuff that people won't see, but it really shines when they do it right.
Yeah, this should get me through the month. Give me a moment. Greetings. Can I help you?
You. killed me.
What? I don't even know you.
You forgot. You locked me in the dungeon in the spire, and you forgot, and I died in the dark.
The spire?
Cole, stop.
Just take it easy, kid.
He killed me. He killed me. That's why it doesn't work. He killed me, and I have to kill him back.
Before anyone gets killed, I need to know what's going on.
Cole, this man cannot have killed you. You are a spirit. You have not even possessed a body.
A broken body, bloody, banged on the stone cell, guts gripping in the dark, dank. A captured apostate. They threw him into the dungeon in the spire at Val Royo. They forgot about him. He starved to death. I came through to help. And I couldn't. So I became him. Cole.
If Cole was an apostate, that'd make the guy we just saw a Templar. Must have been buying lyrium.
Let me kill him. I need to.
Solus?
We cannot let Cole kill the man.
I don't think anyone was going to suggest that, Chuckles.
Cole is a spirit. The death of the real Cole wounded him, perverted him from his purpose. To regain that part of himself, he must forgive.
Come on. You don't just forgive someone killing you.
You don't. A spirit can.
Varric?
The kid's angry. He needs to work through it.
A spirit does not work through emotions. It embodies them.
But he isn't a spirit, is he? He made himself human. And humans change. They get hurt. And they heal. He needs to work it out like a person.
You would alter the essence of what he is.
He did that to himself when he left the Fade. I'm just helping him survive it.
Before I decide anything, I need a clearer picture of what happened.
It seems the real Cole was an apostate, captured and taken to the Circle by Templars.
Who aren't known for their gentle nature.
As the young man starved to death in a dungeon, his pain caught the attention of a spirit, likely one of compassion.
Compassion?
An uncommon spirit, certainly, and all too fragile when its efforts to help prove to be in vain.
Oh, this is difficult. Cole must forgive this and Cole needs to grow. Cole will become more human. What the hell? They don't say Cole must forgive him and Cole must kill him. They say Cole needs to grow. What the hell? I gotta say, they're kind of framing this decision in a complete... Like, the conversation itself and the scenes we're having kind of frame this decision differently than the actual decision presented to me. Jesus. Cole needs to grow sounds incredible. Like, that sounds like the best possible choice. Like, yeah, Cole's better off. We can make... He'll become better. He'll become more than he ever was. It's all great. But I'm pretty sure the suggestion here is that he needs to grow by killing him. That's not what I was going for. Alternatively, he can become more like a spirit. The amulet will help him, but it'll also, like, he'll become more like a spirit as opposed to a human. But then again, he didn't really come here to become a human necessarily. Varric says he came here to become a human, but that's not necessarily true. It's more he came here to help someone who was suffering, and then he failed, and as a result, kind of ended up embodying him. I'm gonna say he must forgive because that seems to be his purpose. It seems to be the way to go for this particular creature. It's what he's here to do.
Cole needs to let this go.
I believe I can help. Cole, come with me.
Not possible. Not possible.
Can you feel this man's pain, Cole?
He remembers now. He knows he killed me.
No. Feel his pain. His guilt. The shame that drove him from the Templars.
Don't worry, we'll erase his records. They clap me on the shoulder, smell of oiled metal and blood. They smile like Louis did when he made me drown the kittens. Laughter bounces off the walls like a thin child's fists.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
He's hurting, Cole. And you are a spirit of compassion.
Forget.
I believe we are finished here.
You all right, kid?
Yes. He's free. We're both free.
Interesting. I think Cole just deleted that guy's memory so that he wouldn't feel the guilt anymore. Or it's not clear. Maybe he still left him with his memory so that he can grow from his mistakes, but then simply deleted his memory of Cole so that he wouldn't know any of this happened just now. But either way, Cole saw the regret and the pain that that guy felt after his mistake, and the dark feeling of the other people not giving a shit about what happened, and that's why he left the Templars.
It appears to be working. Cole should be adequately protected.
Have you talked to him since? Have you heard what he sounds like?
He sounds like a spirit.
Nonsense words like Bertrand at the end. Just need to hear the song again just for a minute. I'm all right, Varric.
What matters is his happiness. Cole, how are you feeling?
I am well. There is work. Wounded to help, hurts to heal, but the weight is off. The old chains have fallen.
You're not still angry with the man who hurt you?
No, I helped him forget. His pain no longer pulls at me. A woman with 2 names slips a knife in darkness to her left hand. Honey stirred into Leliana's wine. Faith, not revenge.
Could have been a person.
Possibly. Would that have made him happier, Child of the Stone?
Subjected to his will. Completed. Yeah, part of me does agree with Cole. Because, Cole's right. This is what he was. It's what he came here to do, is to just be a spirit that helps people to be to be benevolent, to maybe even to redeem himself for past actions where he wasn't such a benevolent creature before. Meanwhile, Varric, I believe, might be trying too hard to anthropomorphize a non-human creature. It's not human. It came here as being not human, and trying to make it human almost feels selfish. Like, I want to make it human because he's not human, he's a dwarf, but I'm humanoid. I relate to other humanoids. If I can make this thing humanoid, then it's like making it better. It's like making a dog human. Like, is the dog better off becoming human? That's condescending, because dogs are kind of seen as lesser beings because of their lesser intelligence and lesser social structures, whereas a spirit may be a little higher than that. But making it human doesn't necessarily make it better just by default, and it might be a little unfair and disingenuous to do that to someone. It occurs to me that I haven't spoken to Leliana since I finished the Abyss quest, and she was torn up about I almost said Josephina, but torn up about the previous leader of the Chantry being represented as a spirit, so I should probably check on her again.
Inquisitor, I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you, but only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did she say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it.
There are no answers in the fate. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her.
Well, unfortunately, Liliana has become no more positive in the aftermath. That's too bad. She might be taking it a little too far to heart, because we don't even know if this Justinia spirit has anything of the original Justinia, or if it's just mimicking her. It might not even know what she was thinking, so the message could be meaningless, although I don't see why she would reach out for any reason if she wasn't the original, and like if she's just making things up on her own, then why would she specifically reach out to Liliana? There's a note here. On the condition of your charges, dear Liliana, you'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. Schmooples II. Oh, this is I've already read that note that's about Liliana's pets. Okay, not super important. Oh. She's moved over here as if to grieve. I don't know if she's gonna have more to say.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
Whoever becomes divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people. Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to in times of peril? A divine with enough support can change the Chantry. And with it, Thedas. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.